Hello, and welcome to this episode of Just a Few. My name is Patrick Antoine, and in these videos I respond to a question submitted to me requiring a biblical perspective. Today's question has to do with the lifespans of human beings. Someone wants to know, did humans really live to be hundreds of years old at one point in time? That question comes out of the context of Genesis chapter 5, where in that chapter we are presented with 10 generations from Adam to Noah, and then introduces us to Noah's sons born to him. Verse 3 is a key verse in that chapter, and it tells us that Adam bore a son at the age of 130 years old. His son's name was Seth. And the son was born in Adam's image, after Adam's likeness, not in the image of God that Adam was created in, which was sinless perfection. So death set in because of sin, and Adam's descendants all had the sinful nature of Adam, and that chapter describes how old people lived to be before they died. There was only one exception there, Enoch, who did not taste of physical death. He was taken. So that's what that chapter deals with. We have no reason to doubt the ages presented in those in that list. Genesis 5 provides us with insight into what life was like before the great flood in the days of Noah. And what we'll notice is that based also on Genesis chapter 2 verse 6, where the Bible talks about there was never any rain, but a mist went up and cooled the surface of the earth, and there was this apparently uniform temperature upon the face of the entire earth. It was like almost like living in a universal greenhouse, and life on earth was ideal. The conditions, environmental conditions, were ideal. And what happened is that because even though the sin had already entered the creation, because of this protective mist before the flood, life expectancy and lifespans was significantly greater than what it is today. The diets of the people would have been much more healthful, natural foods instead of the processed foods mankind has come to be eating now. So again, the protective mist would have kept out radiation, harmful radiation from the earth. The air would have been purer, the water quality, the soil quality, everything would have been conducive to people living the type of lifespans that the Bible tells us there. When we get to Genesis 11, however, we see another genealogical list there, and the lifespans are significantly reduced to probably on average about a third of what it was before the flood. And that's because the flood destroyed that canopy, that protective layer around the earth, and we don't see anything mentioned anymore about a mist appearing upon the earth to cool the earth. Temperature and conditions on the face of the earth changed drastically after the flood, and with that, a reduction in the lifespans of people took place, so that it was a blessing to live to 100 and more years back then. So that by the time of Moses, Psalm 90, written by Moses, talks about the lifespan of a man could be 70 years, and if by chance you make it to 80, well, it was with pain and sorrow. So that people who live to be 100 years, even now, it's a significant achievement. Not many people do. But yes, those were the ages that people lived before the flood, because of the conditions that existed on the face of the earth, and because of the purity and the natural healthful nature of the diets those people would have enjoyed. They were able to live to 800-900 years old. The good news is there's coming a time when that will be restored. It's called the millennial reign of Christ. Sin has left the earth with restlessness and corruption. The Bible says in Romans chapter 8, all of creation is groaning for the manifestations of the sons of God. And despite what some people claim, that will not happen now. The manifestation of the sons of God will take place when Jesus returns, when, as John says in 1 John chapter 3, we shall be like him. It does not yet appear what we shall be like, but we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him. And that's when the sons of God will be manifested, and Jesus will establish the millennial kingdom on the earth. Sin will be removed from the earth. The earth will enjoy its Sabbath, its rest from the effects of sin. Satan will be bound, and life expectancy will be returned to how it was in the days of Adam once again. Revelation 20 talks about that. That's for the future. That's something we can look forward to, the millennial reign of Christ, when sin would be removed from the earth and the effects of sin would have been removed, and we would see at that stage those who would be privileged and blessed to enter into that regenerated state of the earth will enjoy lifespans quite similar to what we see mentioned in Genesis chapter 5. So that's my response to that question. Yes, people did live to be hundreds of years old in the early stages of human civilization. My name is Patrick Antwine. Trust that this response helped. Thank you for the question. Thank you for viewing. If you have a question you would like to submit, please do so by sending it to the email address on the screen there right now. If you enjoy this video, give a thumbs up to it, and that would be much appreciated. So until the next time, grace and peace be multiplied to you.